What's up everyone? Today I'm down at Benson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, and behind me is a 2018 Dodge Challenger. Huge shout out to them for providing this car for me today. I'll have a link to their website down in the description below. And the model that we're looking at today is the TA392. It's finished off in blue pearl and has an MSRP just under $52,000. Under the hood is a 6.4 liter Hemi V8. This is paired to either the optional 8-speed automatic or the standard 6-speed manual. This engine produces 485 horsepower at 6,100 RPM and 475 pound-feet of torque at 4,200 RPM. It is rear-wheel drive, weighs around 4,200 pounds. 0 to 60 can happen in 4.2 seconds. It has a top speed of 176 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 18.5 gallons, you can expect the MPG to be 19 in the city and 30 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 116.2 inches. It has an overall length of 197.9. The width is 75.7 and it has a height of 57.5 inches. Starting up front, this features a black grille with Challenger written out to the left side. LED headlights come standard. The center two headlights have been deleted and act as air intakes to provide more cooling to the engine. There's fog lights down in the lower section of the bumper along with more of the black grille. This features a satin black hood with functional hood scoops and clean lines coming down the hood. It also features a Mopar cold air intake. Moving to the side, this features 20 by 9.5 inch forged aluminum wheels wrapped in Pirelli P0 tires. Four-wheel disc brakes are all around with 6-piston Brembos. The rotors up front measure 15.4 inches and 13.8 inches in the rear. Features body-colored side mirrors, more of the satin black along the door and on top of the roof. The gas cap and the lower side skirt also features more of the satin black. And finishing up in the rear with the spoiler, which is also finished off in satin black, along with the trunk itself. LED taillights, a standard backup camera, and 4 parking sensors. This features chrome-tip dual exhaust and also offers a limited slip. And now with the key, we'll go ahead and take a more in-depth view of the interior, and as long as I have the key on me, I just push this button on the top of the handle, it'll automatically unlock. The door panel is finished off in very nice black leather with gray stitching. Both side windows are automatic up and down with your lock and unlock and side mirror adjustments. This features a 6-speaker Alpine sound system with 1 cup holder behind that along with the aluminum release handle. At the very end of the door, there's a small storage pocket. Moving inside now to the heated and ventilated Napa black leather seats. They have a mixture of Alcantara running along the inside of the bolsters as well. TA is also embroidered in the top portion. More gray stitching running down them and have good bolstering support on the thighs. This also features a 6-way power seat along with 4-way power lumbar adjustability support. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped black leather steering wheel. It has great hand positioning on either side with solid leather on the top and bottom and perforated leather to the sides. All of these buttons control your cruise control. To the left, you have Bluetooth, and all of these control the center gauge setup. So using those buttons on the left side of the steering wheel, we can go through a couple different settings. We can take a look at the speedometer. You have your vehicle information like tire pressure, coolant temperature, and other various settings like that. We can move on to performance, look at a lap timer along with your lap history, top speed, different recorders for 0 to 60, 0 to 100 time, things like that. Moving on to fuel economy, you can look at your trip information, you have your audio, your messages, and last you can look at your screen setup, so there are a lot of different adjustments that you can go through. To the left of that screen is the tach. You have your speedometer on the right side, very nice white housings behind that, give it a really nice look, along with more brushed aluminum running along the outside. To the left of the steering wheel is the trunk release along with some dials for the gauge brightness, the headlight switch, the parking brake release. There's one air vent. Coming along the center now, we'll take a look at the 8.4-inch touchscreen display screen. Now, there are a lot of different features that you can go through. Of course, you have your radio, your media. Going to climate, we can control the heated and ventilated seats along with the heated steering wheel. There's an apps button in the center for other features that you can scroll through. You have Wi-Fi, your settings, more climate control, along with your navigation and audio settings. Going into performance pages now, you can look at your power and torque along with your engine. You have a G-force meter. We can look at other gauges like your oil temperature, battery voltage. You have timers you can set up for 0 to 60 and other things like that, as you saw in the center screen in the gauge setup. And back to the home screen now. This is very easy to use. You can also take these controls that you use the most, hold on them and bring them down to the bottom bar. That way they're readily available for you. Below that center screen, there's power and volume for the radio, along with tuning, a mute button, a screen off button. I'm gonna come back to these two in a second. There's your parking sensors and traction control. And below that is all of the AC controls for the dual zone climate control setup. And to the left is the engine start stop button. So hitting the sport button, all you will see is a little green flag pop up on the center gauge setup. When you go to Super Track Pack, the center gauge setup will pull up this. So you have launch control. You can adjust the RPM to where you'd like to launch the car. Going back up to the setup now, you can go in and select between engine, traction, and steering, whether you want one in sport, one in normal. Behind that, of course, is the 6-speed manual. You'll see later in the driving portion of the video, these are very smooth and short throws. Very nice to go through all the gears. Wrapped in leather on the shift boot. There's 2 cup holders, more leather on the center console with gray stitching. This opens sideways. You have 2 USBs along with a 12 volt and a good amount of room. Moving on to the glove box now, it definitely has a lot of room, and there is a center tray there to help divide your stuff down there. We'll take another look at the seats. Very nice black leather and Alcantara. This also features a sunroof. All of those controls are up in the center, of course, with a sunglass holder behind that. Now it's time to take a look at the rear seating. This is a 4-seater coupe. We'll just go ahead and move the backrest to the front seat up. Go ahead and hop in. Behind both front seats, there's a nice storage pocket. There's 2 air vents in the middle. With the front seat set at my height, I can actually fit my shoes up underneath the seat, so I'm not having to cram for leg room. My head is up just against the top there, but I'm not crammed. I don't have my neck down or anything. Surprisingly, it's actually pretty roomy. Once you get behind the front seat there's actually a lot of room in the back. The center pullout has 2 cup holders, large glasses for the rear passengers as well, so you could definitely fit 2 people back here comfortably. These seats also have a 60-40 split to them, so if you need extra room for putting anything through, you have the option to do that. Moving on to the trunk storage space now, there's 3 ways to open it. You can push on the electronic button on the back, the key fob, or inside the car itself. This has about 16 cubic feet of storage space with the back seats up, and obviously a lot more with the back seats folded down. I have my backpack, there's a car cover in here. Definitely a lot of room. This is a very deep trunk for anything that you need. It's nice that on both sides with the seats down, there's not any overhangs, so you can easily put anything in the back. So getting this Challenger out on the road now, I actually did a quick car change, so I'm in a white one right now. But the first thing that I wanted to go over is the clutch and the shifter. The clutch pedal in this, when you put it all the way down to hit the floor, it's like 3 or 4 inches. In other cars that I've driven, it feels like a lot longer than that. And then the shifter is equally as smooth. That way you can roll through the gears and get up to speed as quick as you can in this. It's so easy to get through these gears. Next up, I'm gonna go over the visibility. This is a pretty big coupe, but visibility all around is really easy to see. I like looking from the driver's seat here. You can see the big bulge in the hood scoop. You can easily see the other side of the hood too, so it's not like it's crazy bulky in your face there. But overall, looking around, looking over your left and right shoulder, you can easily see behind you. Looking over my right shoulder, there's a little bit of a blind spot, but you can look out of the back glass or the side mirror. The side mirrors are back a little bit on the door. They're really close to me, so that gives you more visibility to see on that side as well. So putting a couple miles on this car now, it's really easy to drive. It's a smooth ride. I just have it in the normal settings right now. And actually, I just remembered on the back side of the steering wheel, there's some volume controls that I didn't go over earlier, so you have more hands-free buttons there. There's nothing that beats the sound of a V8. I love the sound of American muscle cars, just that raw V8 power. It sounds really good. It's not too loud right now, but I haven't really got on it. I'm gonna do another small acceleration. Very easy to get through these gears, and you're up to speed like that. I wasn't even doing anything crazy. That wasn't even half throttle, but it sounded really good. Moving on to the interior now, I love all the leather. I love the seats. They have Alcantara on them. They fit you really nicely. I'm even resting my arms right now on the seat. That's how big they are. You just fit right into them. The nav screen is really easy to use, and I like how there's not a lot of buttons down below. You just have your AC controls and then some of the fun buttons like sport mode and that super track pack. This is definitely a track oriented and drag strip car. Having all the timers where you can look at your 1/8 mile, quarter mile times, 0 to 60 and all of that. Coming from the factory like that, it's a really cool option. You can just buy this car, hop in it, and take it out on the track just like that. Has a lot of performance features that are really cool to see. I like the fact too that the back seats in this are actually functional. It's a pretty big coupe, so those 2 seats in the back, you even have room in between them. A lot of times you just have the seats together. So they're actually functional. I'm 5'10". I could fit back there easily. I could be comfortable for at least a good while. You can fold them down, you have room in the back. It's a very large trunk. You can put anything through that you need, folding the seats down. So I've now changed the engine, traction, and steering all into sport mode. We're gonna take a couple turns here. Ooh, you can feel a little bit more throttle response. Oh, wow. For a heavy car like this, it took that turn really well. It was super solid and planted. One last acceleration. Woo. You definitely get up to speed real quick. And now we'll take one last look from the passenger side. Very nice black leather running along the door panel. There's a small net even on the driver's side as well, along with a 12 volt. Very clean looking center. Another peek to the back seats. I have them completely folded down again so you can see this angle. Definitely a lot of room, very premium feeling interior as well. So that is my walk around review and test drive of the 2018 Dodge Challenger TA392. Definitely an awesome muscle car to get behind the wheel of. Huge shout out again to Benson Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for providing this for me today. It has a lot of performance features and is really fun to drive. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you stay tuned for more videos to come. I'll see you guys next video.